Feeling blessed with the presence. Buckle up, Bob. After this run, I'll get home to the ones I love. Drive safe days. Got the passion to get the job done. Spreading the news, sharing their views. Solid as brick. Here comes Rick. You've been safety struck.
All right, everybody, you have been safety struck, and you have Drive Safe Dave manning the boards, and we have a special guest in early today because we're going to go over some things. We're going to talk a little bit about the topic of the month, but we got a safety guy in here because I feel it's important that we bring in a specialist when it comes to certain things. And you know what, Dale, you, sir, are definitely a specialist at certain things. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's certain things that I go to. You're the go-to guy when it comes to those things, sir.
Yes, sir. I am the specialist in certain things. We won't get into all that list, and some of them we probably shouldn't. But now, safety has been in it a long time. Enjoy doing safety. Just got a great place here to do it, and enjoy doing the show with you. Drive safe.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so a couple things before we get right off. Look, I like to talk a little bit about what's going on in the world today before we go too far. And as we're sitting there, I'm watching the news yesterday evening, and late yesterday, did you see that the DOJ announced that it would be moving forward with an appeal on the ruling of mask mandates by the CDC that was knocked down on Tuesday, on Monday.
Hey, Dave, does that surprise you? I mean, did that come as a shock for you?
So I was sitting there watching this, and I'm thinking, you guys are fighting over masks on planes. Now we don't have to wear them, but the CDC wants it back instated. They've got an appeal going to the appellate court, United States Court of Appeals, by the Department of Justice. And I'm thinking the whole time, do you remember wipe on, wipe off? Do you remember? I'm thinking mask on, mask off. How confusing are they truly making the American public? What is do we wear them? Should we wear them? Are we supposed to wear them? The ruling says we don't have to, and the CDC saying, well, you know what, it's a good idea. And then the president yesterday announced during a press interview, they asked him, because the CDC actually works for the president, so does the Department of Justice, they asked him, and he just says, hey, you know what, it's just up to everybody that gets on a plane.
Go figure.
Oh, it's just up to everybody. I don't care. I don't care anymore. And now, but crazy. I don't even know what message we're sending to the general public. I mean, what are you thinking? I mean,
I think it comes down to, it's about personal beliefs. Yes, do we wear them? Do we not wear them? Even when there wasn't a mandate in a lot of places, I still saw people wear them. That's their personal choice. That's what America's about. They can do it.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane, and I don't even know what message we're sending, but it's definitely not one. I'm sure the whole world is going, those people have nothing to do but I have nothing going on.
It's not a uniform message, is it?
They don't, I'm sure everybody else everybody does this around the world when it comes to the United States and certain things. We lead the world, we're the leaders of the free world, but we sure don't know what we're doing when it comes to stuff. And I do believe that this is all down to the CDC wanting to ensure that their authority can't be overstepped and that they have the authority to issue and do things to protect public health and make issuances, and I get all that, right? But is this the battleground?
Yeah,
the masks on airplanes. This is the battleground that they want. This is the ruling that they want to go fight after. Whatever. And by the time they get this by the time this is heard in court, it'll be weeks from now, right? And will it? Are we going to go back to masks in a couple of weeks? Is that?
I don't know. You think about it, the air on airplanes is filtered many more times than
every 3 minutes.
Yeah,
every 3 minutes.
So it's some of the cleaner air out there to begin with. Subways, I could see that's probably not a big filtration system on a subway train. Airplane, a little bit different.
Buses, probably not good.
Yeah.
Roll the window down.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. I think you're right. I think it's just they want to establish a line in the stand. Where is our power? What do we have authority to do? And I think that's just kind of a power play for
Yeah, I know. I believe it to be the case. We'll see how that plays out as we move forward. I'm not real excited about it, but as of right now, you can still get on an airplane without a mask, and you can move through the airport as such, unless you're in Philadelphia, and then you have to wear. I don't know. It just, you know what? There's nothing uniform about it. All right. Secondly, the other thing I wanted to mention was, did you notice that Netflix? Here, I got it up here. Netflix they lost $120 million this year, and it's because their base is shrinking. And I think it's for a number of reasons. They say it's because people are sharing passwords. Is that wait a minute. Is that is that true? Is that a true? Are they really? Too many people sharing passwords, multiple families sharing many passwords, as many as 5. So they're losing like 5 subscriptions that they could be having because people are doing it all over the country. They're sharing their passwords with other family members and friends, and they're not having to pay. And I think the other thing that's happening here is that subscription television, is really watered down what it was 10 years ago. I mean, 10 years ago, you only had, you had Netflix. It was like $6. And you had really nobody else. And then now you got, what do you got? Now you got
Acorn, Hulu,
Paramount. You got
Disney.
All these, Disney.
ESPN, there's subscription.
They're ESPN. So. All these subscriptions. They say that on the average, a household in the United States pays $47 in subscription now. Yeah. And Netflix is probably, I just think there's no way to discern Netflix from the other ones anymore.
No,
because before it was original programming.
Yep.
And because they started that a few years ago, but now they all have original programming.
Amazon has original programming.
Everybody has original programming now. So there's no way to tell the difference. So they're talking about, and here's the next one, that they said they would never do ads.
Never's a long time.
Commercials. Yeah, they're talking about you paying for a version with commercials.
That just goes back to free TV then, doesn't it? Your ABC, NBC, because...
Well, then it wouldn't be free, but you still pay.
What's that?
You still pay. You just pay with one with ads. Why would I pay for one with ads?
Can't think of a good reason.
Unless aren't really the ads there to pay for the television?
Because you really like that series Witcher and
I'm not sure I understand it. I'm fighting with that. I'm fighting. Look, I've had Netflix. You've had it probably 10 years at least?
Oh yeah, I've had Netflix at least 10 years.
I've had it for 10 years. It's just something that I've had, and you know what? I think we don't even watch it as much as we used to. Now, if I'm home, if my wife's out of town and I want to binge watch something, nothing better. There's no place better to go binge watch a show.
And I think they're the ones that introduced America to binge watching and getting that, the short series, maybe a season or two, and let somebody go binge watch.
Yeah, all the weekend. The whole weekend. You can watch a whole series of something from 1997. You can just watch the whole year.
Yeah.
I think I watched, believe it or not, here I am going to be telling. My wife was working. She was doing market for her job, and she was out of town for a week. I watched every CSI Miami and every CSI New York and every and I watched it over, and I just would come home and I would just watch. Let me tell you, I got enough Horatio Kane, right?
Dude, that's a priceless.
I was surprised. Okay, so I watched all these CSI. I was surprised at exactly how many actors got their start on that show. Yeah. I mean, all the criminals that they arrested, all those people, they were so bad, and there were so many that came on later programming for the rest. That I was so shocked at how many people guest appearances on CSI Miami. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to play the real reason Dale is in here, not to just talk world, but really to come in here and talk a little bit about what we've got going on this month. And we'll be back in just a second. Hang on just a minute. I'm running the boards, and let me just tell you, it is not as easy as you would think. All right, here we go.
Doing two things at once. It's talking and pushing
Yeah,
control,
here you go.
buddy.
We'll be right back.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear gives you the added benefit of providing a barrier to liquids, dirt, and grime, keeping you cleaner longer, brighter longer, and therefore safer longer. Get your high visibility apparel by going to utilityproware.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
So Ian was born in 2011, and he just thought it was the best thing. Even though he was an older father, he just looked at it like, how lucky am I to be able to get to do this again. He's missed out on so much. He's missed out on his daughter's wedding. He's missed out on the birth of his grandson. He's missed out on his son graduating from college. And Ian has missed out on not growing up and sharing a lot of those things with Rob that you hope every kid and father get to do. And he missed out simply on, somebody's poor choice. It's been difficult. He misses his dad a lot.
My dad was the most energetic, outgoing, loving, funny guy almost anyone has ever met. He was that guy that just absolutely lights up a room when he steps into it. The big thing that we were planning when my dad was killed was my wedding. He was going to walk me down the aisle. So my uncle Paul, my dad's brother, had to walk me down the aisle because my dad wasn't there. My son was born in June of 2018. I can only imagine what an amazing grandpa he would have been. I feel devastated for my little brother Ian. I feel devastated for my brother Colin. I feel so sad for my son that he never got to meet him and have him as a grandpa. I feel so horrible for my stepmom. It's just so hard to think about the fact that he doesn't get to be here for the world and continue making an impact.
The day of the crash, I was leaving my second to last stop, and I got on Highway 36 going east towards Wisconsin. And meanwhile, while I was driving, I got a message about a house that my girlfriend at the time was looking at. And I pulled out my phone to look at it, to see what she was talking about. I thought it would be fine. I thought nothing will happen. During those 8 seconds, the time went by so fast. I traveled a lot farther than I ever thought I would have. I looked up just before I hit the vehicle, and my truck went right on top of his car that he had and pushed him all the way through the intersection. And I got out of the truck as fast as I could, and I ran back to the car. By then it sank in fully that it was too late.
When I found out about Rob's passing, we were actually going through a very difficult time. My son was in Children's Hospital, and he had a bad eye infection. He was getting treated for that, and a nurse came into the room, and she had just a grave look on her face. And then a state trooper came over to me and sat me down in a chair and told me the news. And I remember, maybe about 20 seconds of just numb, staring at him, and then having to go in the next room and tell my son that his father was killed in an accident. He immediately started crying, and the first thing he asked me is, will I be able to get a new dad? And that was devastating.
When I think about Mr. Bursick, I think about his family. I think about him being a dad. I think about him being a professor. I think about his greenhouse that he had, which was his business. I think about his kids. You definitely don't want to be that person that takes somebody else's life. You don't want to go to jail over it. You don't want to hurt your own family and their family. At the time of the crash, I was a single dad raising a young son and a young daughter. Over the time I've been in jail, my children have missed out on me being there for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for their Christmas concert. And they've just missed out on me being there every day as I was before. I know in the future my family will get to have me back for holidays. But Mr. Bursick's family won't have him back for any future holidays. It's heartbreaking to know that happened, to know that I caused that, to know that it's my fault that they won't get to enjoy another holiday with him. I can't say I'm sorry enough. I can't tell you how bad I feel knowing that you have to grow up without your father. I wish I could take it all back. I wish I could change the events. Getting one text and checking one Zillow link led to an entire life of regret, remorse, sadness, heartbreak. I don't think drivers realize how long they're actually looking at their phone, not paying attention to the road. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you wear a suit and tie. It doesn't matter if you wear jeans and boots. It doesn't matter what you do for a job. This can happen to anybody. All it takes is one poor decision.
Every time I hop in my car, I see people driving distracted. And I just want to stop the person and shake them and tell them, do you have any idea what what you're doing right now did to my family. Do you have any idea what that did to my family and what you could do to someone else's?
Hey, Jace, Ian's doing well, responding nicely to the antibiotics.
My dad left me a voicemail updating me on my brother Ian's condition at Children's Hospital the day that the crash happened.
So just wanted to let you know, you're having a good day. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.
You know, I mean, we have the memories, yes, but we'll never get to see our dad again. And it's all because of the 8 seconds that Sam decided to look at his phone.
I want you to, I'm going to go ahead and play real fast. I'm going to play the initial scene right here again. This is the truck. That was the initial scene.
I play that moment in my head multiple times a day.
It is hard to watch, and it is what we're talking about here in Distracted Driving Awareness Month. You know, it is hard to see the stories and how it affects real lives, and you know, and all the pieces were there on video. Both there was traffic cameras, forward facing camera, driver facing camera. There was all these things there to help the driver do more, right? I mean, to be more aware, and yet it still occurred. I mean, just because you have an inward-facing camera doesn't mean you're going to always do the right thing. You just get used to it, right? I mean, and we get to see the 8 seconds that he was looking at the deal. Well, how do you when you see that? Well, what do you got when you saw it? What was your initial reaction?
You know, when I first saw it just takes your breath away. Just the pit in my stomach that it puts there. Just so many lives are ruined at that point. You know, in 8 seconds, think about the lives that are ruined, the lives that are changed. And so it just puts that big pit. Then you start thinking about your own family and where your values are and what type of driving habits, and what type of driving values you have. You know, 8 seconds to look at a house. And it just... Dave, it's just hard. It's just really hard. And so, I mean, I think, you know, you're right. We have the outward-facing camera. We have the inward-facing camera. We don't monitor. Nobody monitors those all the time. Part of it is so we can help learn. You know, we show videos all the time. It's so we can help learn, see what's going on. How do we get better at it? And because, like you said, just because you have that inward-facing camera doesn't mean you're always going to be doing the right thing.
No, not at all. In fact, it's not going to happen. I mean, yeah, you may for the first week or 2 weeks be thinking about that camera there, but all that other, pretty soon it just becomes something that's in the cab, right? And then it becomes just something that's there. But and I'm not talking about that. What I really am talking about is, and as it's interesting how all these things were put together so that we could see the whole story and how it played out. I'm telling you, that's how devastating this can be. And what's horrifying is that this is happening every single day, and it's not happening one to one person. It's not happening. This has destroyed 2 families. 100% destroyed 2 families, and all we're talking about is looking at the phone for a second. Something so innocuous, something so, we're talking about something so, I mean, how is this? I mean, we've all been at the dinner table when we're talking to somebody and they look down at their phone and you're annoyed, right? Because they're on the phone for a second, they're not paying attention to you. We're talking about not paying attention while driving. We're talking about distracted driving, how important it is and what it means. And here it is on Thankful Thursday, that we celebrate every Thursday. We talk about our appreciation for what the drivers do, and that the 999% of the time, the 999% of the moment, the 999% of the things that go on, and then 8 seconds.
Yep, we lose focus on what we're doing, and we can't do two things at once, and so we're focusing on that phone or on that message, and we just lose touch reality. I mean, you heard the driver say a couple times, I was surprised how fast that 8 seconds went past. I mean, if you count 8 seconds out, 1001, 1000, it's a long time. But yet you hear in these videos when we watch them about how fast it goes by. And so whether it's 8 seconds, 4 seconds, or 2 seconds, that time goes like that. And if you're going 63 miles an hour, man, you're covering a lot of space. If you're going 50 miles an hour, you're covering a lot of space. And like you said, it just ruins families. It destroys families, and it's something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. And so this guy, every morning has to think, I looked at my phone for a house, my girlfriend's house, and I'm in jail for it, and I've ruined somebody else's family's lives with
And I can't be around my family. I can't be around, and then and I took a life that I never wanted to take, never meant to do any of this. And it was just because a decision was made, a bad decision, a poor decision.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's really the crux of what we're talking about here. It is a conscientious decision that you're making when you pick up the phone. You're telling yourself that it's okay not to drive, that it's to drive distracted.
Yeah. It's about the values of it. Do I value life? If I truly value life, I put that phone down. I turn that phone off. I wait till I get stopped before I check messages or text. And you know what? Before phones were there, we got by and got along just fine without it. And so we have to get back into that mindset. And watching videos like this, man, definitely brings it back into focus that it just has to be put down. We have to eliminate those distractions, that cell phone, and get it away from us.
Well, I'll tell you, we had Kenny Ray on here. We had
Yes.
Shelley on here. We've had and we've heard their personal stories about the loss of children, all due to distracted driving. And we're going to continue to talk about the hard thing, that the loss, the decision, and along with that decision, the loss that comes with that decision. The dangers, we continue to talk about the dangers, but I think if we continue to look at the genuine loss and the pain and the difficulty that these people still feel today, and we're talking years ago that this occurred.
Yeah, I can't say sorry often enough, and he's right. You can't, and he feels bad, but it doesn't change that one bad choice on that day. That one ruins things, and I mean, it won't change. He will always be that sorry. He will always feel that pain. He will always have missed those events with his family. The other family will have missed, the wedding, having her dad walk her down the aisle. And so, I mean, it just we'll show it over and over. Dave, like you said, it's not hard to find these type of videos because this happens way too often.
It is not hard to find these. You don't have to search far to find a video of pain and suffering because of distracted driving.
Yeah, I mean, so it's happening too often. We've got to get it, raise the awareness, what we're trying to do here, and try to just show the importance and how it changes and it affects your lives forever.
Yeah, they've made it. We've done great strides in trying to change the laws, right? We've done great ideas in trying to change the laws in school zones and construction zones and in the city and being distracted, and we've made great strides in trying to do that. But I'm telling you, this guy had a camera pointing there looking at him. Somebody was watching him the whole time, and he still made a decision to look at his phone.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as if we had a law out there that said don't do it because it's not, and we're still going until we make the decision individually, until we determine as a society with ourselves and the education that we bring upon each other and that we tell each other enough is enough. We're not going to, it's still going, this story will play out today. This story will play out today.
Multiple times today.
It's going to happen again today. And I'm telling you, that's the sad part of this, that we've got to get these messages. How many people do you think have actually seen this video? I tell you what, people don't want to see these videos.
Oh, you're right about that.
Because they're horrifying, they're sad, and they're difficult to watch.
And when it can't happen to me, it won't happen to me.
Right.
I know better, you know.
I know better.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't watch it for 8 seconds.
Yeah. I'm good at looking ahead and at the same.
So if you look at it, and I'm just going to do the math on it, and I'm just going to tell you 8 seconds. At 90 feet a second at 63 miles an hour, you've traveled 720 feet. Yeah. You've traveled over 2 football fields at an incredibly high rate of speed. Yeah. Never slowed down, never stopped. You traveled, and you've never seen what's going on ahead. Yeah. And I'm telling you, this will play out today. This will continue to play out. And this right here is the reason we've got to continue to talk about it, educate each other, and convince each other that the right thing to do is to put the phone down. Yep. The right thing to do is to never pick it up. Never pick it up.
Not if the vehicle's moving, never pick it up. Never look
at
it.
And you know what? It's almost to the point of, if you're at a stoplight, why are you picking it up anyway? Yeah. Why not commit to yourself that when you're in the car, you're not with the phone, or you're behind the wheel of a truck, you're not with the phone, and that when you're in the captain's chair, the phone has no place.
Yeah. When you're the captain of that ship, that phone goes down because the captain is taking control of that ship, needs to be in control of that ship all the time, and not lose that control for those 8 seconds, those 4 seconds, that distraction just has to be put down and put away. I mean, oh.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about weather. You can talk a little bit about the weather around the country, and then we'll go and we'll look at some of the easier to watch videos. How about that in a minute?
Thank you. I look forward to that.
But we'll talk to them. But give us, I'll tell you what, give us just a minute, and what we'll do is we'll go to a quick commercial break.
This segment has been brought to you by Utility ProWear. Utility ProWear manufactures high-quality, ANSI-certified, high-visibility apparel for both men and women. Infused with the Teflon fabric protector, Utility ProWear affords the wearer durable clothing with a great fit to afford the highest degree of safety. Get your high-visibility apparel by going to utilityprowear.com. Use the code BCB20 at checkout for an exclusive discount.
All right, and we're back with Double Check Dale. What do we got going on in the world?
In the world of weather, we don't have the board behind us, but so we have a really pretty decent day going across. Most of the winds, the high winds that we're going to see this afternoon, and they come up more this afternoon, are going to be far out west in Nevada, Utah, California, right along those areas. Some of the higher elevations are definitely going to see it. However, we will see some isolated severe storms develop this afternoon across southern plains. That's basically Oklahoma and Texas. The storms will continue into early evening hours, and they'll be diminishing at that point. But then later tonight, we'll see them up in the upper Midwest a little bit. Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, we'll see some thunderstorms and some pretty severe storms going across there this evening. Again, diminishing overnight. If you're far north into Minnesota and North Dakota, hey, you're still going to get to see a little bit of snow today up there. But like I said, the winds are really out west this afternoon, and it's along that Nevada, California border, and then going into Utah. I-15, I know through Utah, will definitely be affected by it. But overall, looks like a pretty decent day. Temperatures, we're in April, temperatures are pretty decent across the country today. So, in a snapshot, that is really what's going on in the moment right now in weather, Dave.
Yeah, when you talk about it, I'm just going to say I'm not a big fan of April snow. I don't care.
Well,
I don't care where you are in the country. By April first part, and by the end of April first part, I'm not into snow anymore. I've had enough. I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, I know you do. You're the weather guy, and it's all your business. But I'm not interested. And if there's some in North Dakota today, I'm not interested in being where there's snow today at all. I just don't have. I don't got it in me today.
Dave, I would rather not talk about snow. I'd rather say, hey, there's no snow than,
No, but I mean, I'm just not interested in it. I've driven it. I'm not interested in being in it today, but having to deal with it. And, I think by April you should get a I'm out of snow-free card, right? I'm done. Yeah. I think, you get to waive that, and then it just clears. I mean, I just don't think you should have to deal with April snow too much.
Yeah, and like I said, the stuff.
May snow. Oh, yeah. Who
Unless you're
thought
in the
that
ski-
up?
Unless you're in the ski mountains, but again, it's the time of year where we see these thunderstorms pop up in a hurry. They get a lot of them can get very severe in a hurry. So you just have to be aware of what's going on around you. Find your weather station. Apple and Android, they all have all different tons of weather apps, but be aware of it. When you see the clouds and the sky start darkening, hey, find out what's going on because they can get severe in a hurry. Some of them spawn tornadoes. You want to be aware of that.
Oh, I've gone over. I hit Vail Pass, and I get hit by a whiteout conditions in May. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why am I here? But it can sneak up on you. It can grab a hold of you. You can do it. But anyway, I just wanted to mention. But I think it's going to be windy here today. Where we're at. I think it's going to continue to be. It was windy last night.
It was windy, but I mean, they're not going to be as intense. They're not predicted.
Yeah,
the 50 mile, the 60 mile an hour gusts. So
still banging my fence around. It made me.
I mean, and most of those winds will come with the storms, and some of the storms that are developing ahead of those, and sometimes the wind is behind them. And so, like I said, that's just be aware of if there's any thunderstorms or storms predicted for your area. That's where the winds will be, intensifying.
So the defensive driving, I know you've been talking about it all week. We've been discussing it. Let's see if I can do the rundown for you real fast. Monday was speed. Tuesday was space.
When you say speed, what speed up?
Management.
Go faster?
Yeah, no, slow down. And then Tuesday was space management. And then yesterday we had, be rested. And then today's defensive driving tip is?
Prepare to stop. Hey, you know what?
Yes. It's always be prepared to stop. Yeah, that's always a awesome tip.
And I didn't know this video was going to be on today, but intersections are the most dangerous areas on the roadway. Over 2 people a day are killed at an intersection by drivers who ran the red stoplight. And there's over 165,000 accidents annually caused by red light runners. Whether they make that conscious decision while they're watching the yellow light change or whether they're not paying attention, it all ends up the same way, very badly.
Yeah, so in the video that we saw today, the driver, the car in front of him was actually stopped at a red light, and because he wasn't paying attention, he drove right through the car and the red light into the intersection, which can happen at any time, and that's why I'll tell you, when you say be prepared to stop, that's about that. When I think it goes a long way in that number 2 of that's to create that space in front of you. It's controlling that area in front of you, and if you control that area in front of you, you have an opportunity to stop, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, we look at the video today. He had great space, but you still have to be paying attention. You have to be prepared to stop, which means being alert, paying attention to what's going on around you.
Yeah, being focused.
It's a package deal. It's just not one.
Yeah,
thing.
you got to be able to stop, and you got to be prepared. I mean, you got to be able to put the truck and be stopped. You got to be able to stop the vehicle, if not just the truck, but any vehicle you're in. You got to be prepared to stop, and it doesn't mean just locking up the brakes. It means being aware of what's going on and being understanding that there may be a time when you do need to lock them up.
Yeah, not all hard brakes are bad. I mean,
absolutely, not all hard brakes are bad. Their effect can be bad, but the result can be good. Yep. So make sure that you understand. But being more prepared will eliminate some of those,
by slowing down, by increasing that space.
Funny how they all tie into each other, right? Wow, just basically good defensive driving techniques somehow all just tie into one another.
Yeah, go figure how that works. It's a funny thing. It's sort of like having a game plan when you go play football or sports. It all ties together. If we do this, this, and this, here's the outcome. And so again, with defensive driving habits, if you do this, this, and this, the chances for a great outcome, a safe trip, returning home to your family, increases mightily. Yeah,
and we talked about, all week we've been talking about these defensive driving techniques, and when you mentioned that, Monday, slow down, and then you got create the space, and now we're talking about stopping. You are basically 100% in defense of your defense. You're defensively driving. That right there in a nutshell is defensive driving. Not just tips. You're pretty much you pretty much described exactly how to do it, right?
That'd be the definitions for it. Yep.
Buddy, man, the lights are starting to come on over here behind the board. I'm starting to put it all together.
That's what that brightness is over there. It's like, Dave's got it. He's got it.
Yeah. I'm actually starting to figure out how this all works and as we continue to talk about safety. But really, the fundamentals, the simplest things make a difference. Yeah. You know, and they truly make a difference. And we've been talking about it today. And I got my safety cone on today. Did you see that?
Yes, yeah. I do see it. Now that you point that out, yes, I do see that.
I got my safety cone on today. The most common traffic signal out there worldwide, in temporary traffic signal out there worldwide, is your safety cone. But, you know, it is important that we continue to focus on that. And you know what? It's never enough to talk. We can never talk too much about it. We can never talk about too much about how to make a difference in what we can do out there on the road. That's why I had you here to watch this video and talk about this and how to apply it. But we're doing intersections, being prepared to stop, and then we see this going on. Yeah. So hey, it all ties in, and it all very, very, very important. All right, I'll tell you what, we're gonna go ahead. What do you want to do? You want to go straight to the videos?
Hey, let's go to some videos today. You know, it is Thankful Thursday, and we got some great ones to show. You know, and I love showing some of these because, you know, it's easy to armchair critique some of them. But you know, then when we see drivers doing the absolute right thing here, Dave, what's the driver doing right here? We got a red light. We got train tracks. He is not.
We're not parking on the train track.
We don't know. We probably don't have room to get across them safely, so we stop on the other side of them, wait for that light to change. Yep, it's going to take you 15 seconds longer, up to 15 seconds longer once the light changes to get through the intersection, but it'll be safer. You're not sitting down on that track. Other thing I noticed is there's no cross arms here, and so, I mean, you really don't get a lot of warning.
Unprotected track.
Yeah, the train's coming, so great job by the drive here. Start the celebration. That's a good video right there.
Start the celebration. Yep. I like how you put that. Start the celebration.
Thankful Thursday.
Thankful Thursday.
You know, and here we go again. It's a same type of thing. Light is green, and the driver is stopping well behind the white line, seeing what's going on ahead. The intersection is full, plugged up. If he gets out there, just going to be blocking and adding to the mayhem. So the driver is exhibiting great patience here, stopping behind the white line, waiting for traffic to clear before he tries going through that light, even though it is green.
Yeah, and I think, and in my opinion, that because not only the green car is doing a great job of it as well, we're doing a good job of it here behind the wheel in this truck. This guy on the right is seeing everybody stopping, and he's thinking, well, I got it up.
I can get out.
I got a little car. I can fit out there. But you know what? He's seeing other people lead the way, and I think he's not interested in just being that. You know, and I think it matters. I think it genuinely matters, right? That what you do and how other people react to certain situations. And if you're leading by example, you're going to change this traffic path. I mean, people aren't as inclined to jump out there when you're doing what's right. Now they'll be the lone. Now, if everybody was, there's no doubt in my mind, if everybody was crowding that.
Oh, yeah.
This guy is solid. That is a true green light. But I think because right here, he's second guessing on whether to move up there or not now. Don't you agree?
I agree. And then the one that sent this video, and this is a professional driver. This is a professional driver making a professional decision. And like you said, Dave, leading the way. When people look around and say, hey, he stopped back here, why? Well,
and you know what? And we appreciate y'all sending in these awesome videos. Thanks. And y'all continue to send these in. Let us see your videos out there. You know, let us continue to show us what you're doing, especially when you're doing them well. I mean, we have some people that send them in and you're telling on themselves, but they're also showing what they need to correct, right? They're actually doing the right thing. They're actually saying, look, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing, but this right here, great job. The last two videos, fantastic work. For both of these guys. And
actually, I think the next one's going to be, some more good stuff.
No way. Don't tell me we've got 3 in a row.
I believe we do.
Uh-oh, another one of my favorite. You know what? I'm wearing a railroad sign tomorrow.
There you go.
I don't know about y'all, but tomorrow we are celebrating railroad crossings and intersections. And here we are, another person. You know what, y'all? I want y'all to continue to send in these railroad crossing videos. These are awesome. These are doing the right thing.
Yeah, I mean, this one has the crossbars, and so you get a little bit more warning. And I was thinking, I looked where it's at because it's over in Illinois, and I've been out to Chicago with commuter trains. Those trains are hooking at 60 miles an hour, so when you come up to those tracks, you better stop or be able to clear them. And so just another great example of driver doing the absolute right thing. You know, there are a couple signs there that says, hey, make sure you have it. I think it gives the distance between the tracks and the stop sign. But, I mean, you have to know that you can clear it so you don't get hung out there. I believe the yellow one says 75 feet.
75 feet between the track and the highway. Do not stop on the tracks. It is giving you you know what? They don't accidentally put up these signs, by the way.
There's a reason for it?
Yeah.
Dave, tell me more.
No, and you know what? And sometimes they put up these signs because people didn't make good decisions when there weren't any signs.
Yeah, we can joke about it, but you're right. I mean, they're there for a reason, and chances are something bad has happened there. So they're just trying to give us more of a warning, more of it. And you'll see this a lot of times at dangerous intersections with stoplights where you'll see the flashing lights first, and then you get the rumble bars and everything else. That means that something bad's happened there. These signs are giving us a heads up. Driver does a great job. 3 videos in a row this morning.
Yeah, you know, and as we talk about it, and I'm gonna ask you, really, when the signs aren't blinking and the bars aren't coming down, that's when drivers get a little too relaxed in not knowing to look both ways down the track. I don't care if the bar is up and the lights aren't showing. You still need to look both ways before you cross that intersection.
Yeah.
You still need to be aware that track is a danger intersection because it is an intersection.
Yeah, I mean, I believe if you're hauling hazmat or if you're a tanker, you have to stop at
or a bus or a school bus.
Roll your windows down and listen. Why is that? Because the trains, can show up and you don't want to be hanging out in the wrong place.
Make sure, and you know what? These are 3 great videos, and I'm wearing a train shirt tomorrow in honor of everybody. There's going to be a shirt tomorrow that's got a train crossing because these videos are awesome in regards to what to do and how to do. All right, here we go. Another video.
Okay, so we had 3 good ones. Here's one, that intersections are dangerous, Dave.
Wait a minute, we got a stale green light. We've had it green for a while. I'm just saying, wait, it goes yellow. And
driver does good there, but watch.
Oh, the four-wheeler decides I got plenty of time. Great job by the driver. Yeah. Stale green light. Actually, I think kicked off of the fuel before the light changed, and it went, and definitely when it went yellow. But I'm telling you, stale green, knowing that it may change, changes, plenty of time to come to a complete stop. Red now, bam.
Yeah.
Superhumans running through intersections, not knowing full well what's going on. And I'm telling you, there's no way that car can see
that intersection
to the right with that truck there blocking the way at that speed. There's no way he can see if those cars are moving or not.
Or can those cars see him coming? And what if one of them's playing that light and goes, I'm going to be Johnny on the spot. That light changed. I'm going to jump right out there. So, I mean, intersections are dangerous. Pay attention to the lights, and that's why we show them. We get the four-wheelers, talk to your family, friends, whoever, and say, hey, we see this every day. When you come up to a stoplight and the light's changing, stop for it, please.
All right, I'm gonna show another video here. These are some good videos. So far, good videos. All right, here we go. Is this another good one?
Yeah, I think this is another good one. I put this one in here because so many times we see, this truck pulls out in front of us, more or less pulls out in front of us. And how many times do we see the driver that's coming up to it, try crowding him? It's going to show him how close this could be, that you should have waited. Not this driver. Driver recognizes, starts slowing down right away, gives him plenty of space, doesn't try doing anything aggressive there. So I just like seeing that, where we pack our patience. We don't try retaliating and stuff like that. So
Yeah, hey, I can't believe you pulled out of there. I'm going to make sure I speed up so you just see how close you were.
How close this was, how dangerous that was. We're not going to increase it. So just a great job, you know. And that's 4 really nice videos this morning.
Wow. Dude, seriously. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to win bonus points with drivers? Here we go.
Okay, well, if I was, this one won't get me any. So as we watch this one, you know, again, we're talking about stale green lights, and we're watching. We see this driver. The driver's already slowing down for the car ahead of him to get out of the way. The light's changing. We know he's already slowed down for it, but instead of coming to the stop, accelerates through the light.
All right, here we go. All right, we got a lot going on here.
Yep.
So I want to. This is a great video. This is a great video to talk about. All right. And let me just tell you, there's things here that matter, and I'm going to tell you what they are. Number one, you have passed, I count no less 10 intersections in this video, in this short video. 10.
Yep.
All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 intersections that you're going, this truck driver in this few seconds encounters that many intersections, that many moments of danger, right? You've got traffic, you're following behind this vehicle, and it is slowing. It has its brake on, and it is signaling. You've got to give him the space he deserves. You don't know how quick he's going to turn lane. You don't know how quick he's going to stop. You don't know.
Or change his mind.
Or changes, but you've got to be patient and slow down. Now, you also see this driver crowding the lane, right? Boxing over a little bit, trying to get around him as quickly as possible to make this light the driver knows it's stale. It's all about making great decisions here, and I'm telling you, you've got to just, what is the cost benefit right here? And I'm going to let's do it. Best case scenario, if you stop at the light. Best case, you do what? Hurt no one. Worst case, if you stop at the light, you lose 90 seconds, right, on the time of the light. 2 minutes?
2 minutes max.
Okay, that's worst case. Now, if you don't stop at this light, best case scenario, nothing happens like it does in this video, right?
Yep.
What's worst case?
Somebody dies.
Somebody dies.
Somebody dies.
So now you got to value 2 minutes over somebody dying.
Yep.
That's how important these decisions are in this best case analysis, worst case analysis. Those are the kind of decisions we want you to make every single day based upon saving lives and understanding that your job when you're driving these trucks is to do everything you can and make every decision about life-saving decisions. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not about getting in a hurry. Yeah, everybody wants to be on time. Everybody wants to get done with their run and everything. But we still have to do everything the right way, the safest way. Make those choices. Use our values to protect lives instead of getting in a hurry to go through this light. Go, well, it was yellow. I can get through it. You know, that's not the case. Somebody else shoots that and goes, hey, that light was going to change. Bad things happen. Bad things happen, and it's life-changing, folks. When those type of things happen, it is life-changing.
I'm gonna play this for just one more second, and I know we've seen it, but I want y'all to see it. I think it's worth seeing again before we get out of here.
Play that moment in my head multiple times a day. There wasn't anything I could do. I was out of control. From the time that I looked down at my phone to the time that I looked up, 8 seconds had passed. I never realized how far you travel in 8 seconds.
We see it too often, and Tuesday was another example where someone's killed on our roads for no reason other than someone else's poor choice to make that phone more important than driving. We shouldn't need a law to tell us to pay attention while driving. We should just be paying attention while driving because we know it's the right thing to do. And had that happened on Tuesday afternoon, there's no doubt in my mind that Mr. Bursick would have been home.
He was stopped at a stoplight, and I hit him when I was going 63 miles an hour, and and hit so hard that my truck went on top of his car. I couldn't steer. I couldn't. The brakes didn't do anything. I couldn't do anything.
You know, and I'm just going to say I wanted to play that again because unfortunately, Dale, I got you on here, and it's tough to watch. I mean, it is absolutely tough to watch that video. It's brutal to watch. But that's going to happen today. That's going to happen more than once today. And lives are going to be changed dramatically today because, and I think the police officer said it isn't a law that's going to make people. It isn't. It shouldn't be a law for people to do the right thing. You know what I mean? The right thing to do is to put the phone down. And I hope we play this video again. I hope we continue to play it this week and next week, and I hope that we continue to find more stories like this because I think they're important to see because I don't know how many of these a person can take before they realize how they can put the phone down.
Yep. And Dave, when he started it, the driver said, I never realized how far you go in 8 seconds. He's been a professional driver. How can you not, and it's kind of, how can you not realize that? I mean, because until something this bad happens, you don't realize it. Folks, wake up, watch this. Understand how fast, how far you go in those 8 seconds, in those 4 seconds, because in those 8 seconds, it was life-changing.
Yeah, dramatic. Okay, man, I appreciate it. All right, thanks, Dale, for jumping on today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to close out with a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather before you today to ask for your grace in all things. Father, help us to understand, appreciate, and do something about these kinds of stories. Help them change our lives for the better. Help to bring the message that they have to us so that we make a difference, that we make a change, and that we can do some good in the world and make a purposeful moment every time we get behind the wheel, that we are dedicated to driving, that we will do better and be better, and we will be a safer person. We ask all these things in your name. We pray, amen. Everybody have a great and wonderful day. We will see y'all again tomorrow on BCB Live.
The safest station in the nation.
All right. Bye, everybody.